Please subscribe.
On the off chance that it would appear that a duck, and quacks like a duck, it must be a duck, correct? This philosophical inquiry is easily proven wrong when it identifies with the Honda Pilot and its littler average-size partner, the Passport. It might look fundamentally the same as the Pilot, and offer a similar suspension and motor. However, the 2019 Honda Passport has its own particular character. So in case you're uncertain on whether to purchase the littler or the greater SUV, read underneath to discover the greatest contrasts between the two vehicles. Inside space, the most useful contrast between the Pilot and Passport is the seating limit. While the Passport seats up to 5 travelers, the Pilot can hold a limit of 8 individuals, or 7 when furnished with skipper's seats in the subsequent column. In the first and second columns, you'll get comparative headroom whether you're in the Passport or Pilot. It's a similar story for front legroom, albeit second push legroom fluctuates a bit between the two models, coming in at 39.6 creeps in the Passport and 38.4 crawls in the Pilot. Those in the third line of the Pilot have 31.9 creeps of legroom. Albeit taller travelers may experience considerable difficulties, the third line can sensibly fit normal stature grown-ups. So for some, the Pilot's additional seating limit is something other than a shallow favorable position on paper over the Passport. Execution: the two SUVs accompany a 3.5-liter V6 motor making 280 horsepower and 262 pounds-feet of torque. You won't see an incredible distinction between the two while proceeding on to the turnpike. A completely stacked Passport Elite we tried went from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.2 seconds, while a Pilot Elite hit the imprint in 6.3 seconds. In the quarter mile, the Passport likewise performed just marginally better, 14.7 seconds at 94.0 miles per hour versus 14.8 seconds at 93.7 miles per hour in surveys. We've applauded the Passport's especially energetic throttle and its capacity to dispatch hard. The two models offer a 9-speed program transmission that can move cruelly on occasion. This unit is found in all Passports, and on upper trim Pilots rather than the model's standard 6-speed. The Pilot has a couple of amazing favorable circumstances with regards to execution. The bigger model adjusted the figure 8 in 27.6 seconds at a normal 0.62 grams, beating the Passport's 28.1 seconds at 0.62 grams. The Pilot was additionally ready to brake from 60 miles per hour to a halt in 120 feet, an entire 10 feet, not exactly the Passport. Rough terrain capability: the Passport has a raised suspension and somewhat more ground freedom than the Pilot, up to 8.1 inches versus 7.3 inches. The Passport additionally has better methodology and flight plots for going 4x4 romping, 21.4 27.6 degree approach, takeoff edges on all-wheel drive Passports contrasted with 19.7 20.8 degrees for Pilots. The two models offer 4 distinctive drive modes: normal, snow, sand, and mud. When rolling over rocks, the suspension retained the developments and great design we said of the Passport in our first drive audit. Be that as it may, with regards to on-street execution, it's not also damped as the Pilot or Ridgeline, as we noted in our first test. Payload: the Passport appreciates 41.2 cubic feet of payload space with the back seats up, and 77.9 creeps with the seats down. The Pilot offers slightly more space with up to 46.8 cubic feet behind the subsequent line, and up to 83.9 cubic feet behind the main line. With each of the 3 columns up, the Pilot still offers 16.5 cubic feet. Plan: in spite of the fact that they seem to be comparative from the start, the Passport is more athletic than the Pilot. Alongside extra ground freedom, the Passport has standard passed-out outside accents, a drifting rooftop, more extensive track, and 20-inch wheels. The Pilot comes standard with 18s, albeit 20s are accessible. 2 adornment bundles are accessible on the Passport, including the Adventure, which includes running sheets, bumper flares, and a trailer hitch, and Urban, which has front and back underbody spoilers, load stockpiling containers, novel wheels, and rooftop rails and crossbars. Security and government crash tests. The Pilot and Passport both get 4 stars in the frontal accident classification and 5 stars in side accidents. The Pilot gets 4 stars in the rollover test, and a general rating of 5 stars, while the Passport has not yet been evaluated in these 2 classifications. The 2019 Honda Pilot was named a top safety pick from the ACE, yet the Passport was most certainly not. The littler model missed out due to its poor front light appraising. In any case, the 2 vehicles earn top scores in the accompanying accident classifications: little cover front driver's side, moderate cover front side, rooftop quality, and head limitations. Mileage. Strangely, the Pilot has a slight mileage advantage. Front-wheel drive Pilots return 20/27/23 mile per gallon city/expressway/consolidated, contrasted with the Passport's 20/25/22 mile per gallon. All-wheel drive Pilots net 19/26/22 contrasted with 19/24/21 for the Passport. The 2 vehicles keep running on standard gas. Evaluating and trims. In all honesty, the Passport and Pilot have comparative beginning costs. The base Passport Sport begins at $33,035, in front of the $32,495 Pilot LX. When you get to the upper trim levels, the Passport begins winding up a greater amount of arrangement than its bigger kin. The Pilot Elite expenses $49,065 contrasted with the Passport Elite at $44,725. The Pilot Elite has a couple of more standard luxuries than the Passport Elite, including an all-encompassing rooftop, back diversion framework, and second push commander's seats.